Remember the last time you were stung by a bee? Bit random and probably not the most pleasurable of memories to ask you to evoke. However, the venom produced by the flying insects is the rather unusual ingredient behind the latest beauty treatment. And this week, a Nottingham beauty therapist became the first to introduce bee sting facials to the city. I caught up with Michael Bond at the Little London Herbal Stores on King's Walk to give the natural alternative to Botox a try. And Michael began by admitting that some of his clients had been a little fearful at first.
I can see where people may be apprehensive about bee venom facials. I only heard of it probably a few weeks before Christmas. Somebody came into the shop and mentioned they'd read an article in the national press about these facials that were being performed in London and round about. And it sounded really interesting. So I sort of Googled it and read a bit more about it. And the more I read, the more I became intrigued. And the fact that it's considered to be an alternative, a natural alternative to Botox, just seemed too good to pass up, really. You know, the bulk of my clients are probably 40 years upwards. And they're always asking me, you know, what can I do to look younger, you know, what treatments are you going to introduce? And I just thought, okay then, I think we're going to go with this.
The treatment launched this week in Nottingham.
Yeah.
What has the response been so far?
The people who had the trial treatments, where I just made sure that everything ran to time, etc., have been really, really pleased. Like you say, they think, oh God, you know, bee venom, I'm going to be stung to death. It's nothing like that at all. The bulk of the products that you use have such a lower active ingredient, so they work, but you actually don't feel like they're working. The facial mask that you use, which you leave on for about 20 minutes or so, you can feel a slight tingle. I've asked everybody, you know, can you know, how would you describe it? Everyone's different. It's a general pulsing, a tingling, but it's not unpleasant. When the treatment's finished and they sort of look in the mirror or they touch the skin, it's wow, you know, I can actually feel a difference in the firmness, in the elasticity, and the skin just looks a lot more fresher and revitalised, and perhaps it's through the eyes of the believer. It looks like it's lifted. There's a tightening effect from the moment that you put the mask on. And so, as I explain how the product works, I have people buying into one or two of the products to use at home. The more you use it, the better the results can be, as there's a cumulative effect of the product in the skin, like Botox. But whereas with Botox, you hear these horror stories of frozen faces and people, you know, you hear of actresses who are supposed to be emoting great happiness and that the face is just like a piece of marble. You don't get that with the bee venom. You still retain facial mobility.
How do you manage to get venom from bees?
It's a good question, because I often wondered myself, because you hear such horror stories of how animals are farmed for our benefit. And I had visions. I saw an image on Google of a bee in a vice with an electrode attached to its bum, basically. I was thinking, no, that's wrong, you know. I've sort of researched further and actually got some confirmation from a professor, and he sort of just told me that there's fields of hives out in the open, all lovey-dovey flowers and little birds, and as the bees go about their daily activity, going in and out the hive, they cross a tray that's got an electrical current, only a small electrical current, nothing to blow the wings off. And as they go over the tray, they're encouraged through a little shock just to drop a tiny amount of bee venom, and then they go into the hive, fly out the hive. So it becomes, I guess, a part of their natural daily routine, you know, as well as fending the hive from enemies or going and get pollen and so on. That they are just, it becomes part of their daily routine that as they go in or out the hive, they drop a little bit of venom. So there's no bees harmed in the cultivation of the venom.
I'm very excited and a bit apprehensive too, because you're going to give it a bit of a go on me.
Yes.
What do I need to do beforehand? Do I need to have done anything to my skin before coming to see you?
If there is a history of anaphylactic shock in your family, or if you yourself have had a reaction to bee stings or wasp stings, or even if I was to go, say, things like nut allergies or banana allergies, just for me personally, to be on the safe side, to have a patch test done 24, 48 hours before, just on a little patch on your arm, just to see if there isn't any drastic reaction to it. Up to now, the people I've trialled on, been no problems whatsoever. You know, people have just been really, really eager when they've got here to say, right, come on, let's get on with it. Let's see what these little bees are going to do for me, you know.
Well, let's see what these little bees are going to do for me.
Marvellous. There it is.
No little bees in there.
No. no bee wings, we're fine. So this is just to flip it open, pour it into your hands, rub it in your hands with a bit of water, and then smooth it over the skin. Okay, so now we're moving on to the bee venom face mask. This is the one where you get the tingling, the pulsating, general feeling of oddness, I think is the best way.
Should I be scared?
No, not at all. Not at all. So I'm just going to lightly apply this all over the face.
It's quite cold to start with.
It is, yeah. So it slowly warms up, and as it warms up, you will suddenly realise there's this strange feeling developing over your face. And what this is doing is stimulating the skin, stimulating the muscles to produce extra elastin and collagen. And they're the proteins which, as we get older, begin to vanish from our skin, and that's how we lose the elasticity and we get the fine lines and then the bigger lines. And so this helps the skin to regenerate itself.
It smells very nice.
It is it's gorgeous, isn't it? There's lots of essential oils in here. There's Manuka honey, so a bit more bee byproducts, if you will. Manuka honey is very good for healing and soothing the skin. It's a natural antioxidant. So again, the skin is being detoxified, being cleansed, being smoothed, and the result, hopefully, at the end of this, after 20 minutes, you will feel a tightness in your skin, but not a nasty tightness, just a, ooh, I've had a lift. How's that feeling to you now?
Definitely starting to feel a bit tingly.
Tingly? But it's not a nasty tingle, is it?
It's not a nasty tingle, no, it feels quite warm. It's starting to feel a bit warmer. I can definitely feel a bit of a tingle, but it's not an uncomfortable tingle, it's just a kind of a light tingle.
But that's it. Now it's applied all over the face and the neck. You can feel the tingle, and that's as far as the tingle goes. It won't get any more. It's just very, very gentle.
So it's been on for about, what?
Nearly 20 minutes, yeah. And so what I'm going to do now is just gently rub it into the skin, and just rubbing very gently around the skin, around your temples and over your forehead.
Right, so half an hour down the line,
Yeah.
and I'm finished. My skin feels lovely. It doesn't feel as hot and as painful as I had expected, to be honest. What benefits will you see out of having the bee venom facial?
Well, asking you now, how would you say your skin felt? Tighter or lifted and smoother?
It definitely feels tighter. It feels really soft, and I'm not sure how much of that is just because it's had some special attention that it doesn't normally receive, but it definitely feels good.
As I say, the results are cumulative, and as you've just said, the first treatment you do feel an immediate improvement. The skin is smoothed out, it's detoxified, it's lifted. I mean, as we speak now, the cellular regeneration that naturally occurs morning, noon and night every day that we're alive will begin to speed up, which produces more healthy, smoother, younger looking cells to come to the surface. So in a week or so down the line, your skin will look fresher and younger, and hopefully make you feel that you look the best that you can be.